All right, tell them who the real sixth God is. God of Toronto,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right, so we got a cool topic today, man. Shots fired. Yes, absolutely. The real God of Toronto. You know what that is. Today we're going to be doing something interesting. This is actually, you know more about this than I do. Tell them about this one.
All right, man. Geraldo Rivera, he was on, I believe, Huntington Post, and he talked about hip-hop and how hip-hop has done more damage to the Black and Hispanic community than racism has. So we wanted to talk about that. Like, is that true? Is that not true? Is it false? What is it? You know what I mean? Me personally, I think I kind of agree with him to a certain extent. I think racism has always been here before hip hop, so I don't think too much of it. But I do agree that hip hop has done some damage to our communities.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it's generational. I'm going to say that one generation hurt more from racism, and another generation is hurting more from hip hop. It's not not all inclusive.
So help people understand what you mean by hurt. Like how are people being hurt by hip hop?
Well, I mean, I think that the fads and the trends that they're leaving with these young people is impressionable. You know, they're going out there and they're thinking they can move weight. They're thinking that they can, get away with murder. They can do all these crazy things and land themselves in jail. No life.
But somebody may say, I mean, Ryan, you listen to hip hop growing up. You seem to be an okay guy. It didn't impact you that way. Are you sure it's not racism and generations of oppression?
It's so many reasons of why I turned out okay, though, man. First of all, saving grace of Jesus Christ, but also, the upbringing in my household. I think that's another thing you could say about hip-hop, too, is that hip-hop is raising kids, not the parents. And I came from a generation where my parents raised me, not hip-hop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say this because it sounds bad, but I was on the safe side of hip-hop. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know about... No.
Okay.
I'll say this.
UGK,
No.
MJG.
I'm going back even further.
That's really safe.
I'm going back even further. I'm talking about like 5th grade when I first discovered the Chronic. Dr. Dre.
That wasn't safe.
Chronic?
No. But I'm saying like it wasn't presented to me. I had to find it. You know what I'm saying? Like now.
But you found it.
Yeah, but I didn't have it. But what I'm saying is like the NWAs and things like that wasn't my generation. You know what I mean? Like that was before I could get my hands on a radio.
Gotcha. I see what you mean.
I heard about the Chronic 4:00 in the afternoon at after school care on the playground. One of my friends' older brother, he took his CD or tape player and like let us hear it. It wasn't like we had it at our disposal to buy or purchase.
Jeremiah, you was heavy into hip hop.
Yeah,
How you turned out so good?
I think because I had a mother that cared, and I knew right from wrong too. I think another thing too is a lot of people don't know right from wrong. A lot of stuff is gray areas right now. So when you don't have, like you said, when you don't have a parent in the household to tell you, no, that's fantasy, that's not real. What they're talking about, they're not living that lifestyle. When you have somebody, when you go up to a kid and you say such and such is fake, and he like, no, he's not. He real. He really this. He really that. And like almost about to fight you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then this person has influence. Like I heard this guy say this one time, and I think it's the truth. The truest statement. Like music has more influence. That's real power. Power is like really having influence over somebody. The fact that you are defending somebody that you've never met before in your life, like they could care less about you, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? A rapper that you don't know, you're defending, and it's like, why are you defending that person? You don't know. He doesn't know you.
Yeah.
You just defending what you like about him. You know what I mean? So I think right now we're in a society where a lot of parents are not there. They may not be there because of some type of drug situation, or they may not be there because they're working too much. So their kid is getting raised by entertainment.
So what about the people who say that that's the parents' fault? It's not the music's fault. It's the parents' fault.
Well, the problem is there's no balance. There's no balance of somebody telling you, no, pull your pants up. You're gonna have a belt on when you go to school, and you know what I'm saying. Like, it's nobody in there, so it's in essence teaching kids how to be somebody, get confidence, swag, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's teaching them those things, and they trying to emulate the people they like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is, and you can blame the parent, but at the same time, you as an artist, to a certain extent, you got to realize what you're doing. When you go to a signing as an artist, go sign CDs and stuff, and you see a bunch of kids that look exactly like you, wear their clothes like you, their hair like you, and everything, then you got to understand I'm having power over these kids. And
you say it's the artist's fault.
I'm saying it's both. I'm saying it's both because if you don't have a parent that cares, then that's on a parent. Like, you know what I mean, to really take time to let you know. But as an artist, at sometimes you got to look at what you've been creating and realize, like, what am I doing to people with my music?
Okay, so, but you're saying it's the artist's fault, but the same artist was influenced by hip hop too. Yeah. So is it hip hop's fault, or is it a generational thing, like most other people say?
It's hip hop's fault.
Well, I think it's environments where you come from that's creating the hip hop that people like.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So it's the generations of oppression and a lack of opportunity that creates a bad pool of individuals that create worse stuff. Right?
But then again, you have people that what I'm hearing in the industry now is that there's no balance, there's no counteractive stuff. You know what I'm saying? So at one time when we were growing up, you may somebody like Ice Cube may have been big, right, or like people listen to Ice Cube, but you also had MC Hammer. That if you wasn't listening to Ice Cube, even though people may call him a sellout or whatever,
yeah,
you still had him to listen to. So there's no balance.
You mean there's no neutral rappers thriving right now? It's all negative.
I'm not saying. I'm saying right now it's what they would call positive with the Kendricks, the J. Cole's, the I would say Drake. I would say not like these cats are really like almost like college kids who rap. Wale, all these other cats. Yeah. So it's like I'd rather let them listen. I let my kids listen to them than Rick Ross or Jeezy or anybody else that's promoting really violent type stuff. You know what I mean? So that's the balance, quote unquote, now. But I mean, I think that's what the problem is, man. There's really no balance that people are really getting promoted to help people be uplifted. You know what I mean? Like that's why we exist, to find that balance.
Now we posted the Derek Minor Rick Ross video on Facebook recently, and somebody got on there and they were like, y'all, F y'all, man, y'all don't know real music. Rick Ross is this and that. Y'all don't, you know what I mean? And just lighten us up. Oh, wow. And you could tell like the influence this man has over this man to cuss out people he don't know to support a person he don't know.
Yeah.
And we ain't even, I mean, we dogged Rick Ross, but we ain't like, we voted for some of his joints. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we did a sermon on Rick Ross. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it's like, people are being really, really influenced by these people.
And I'll give you another example. The gang members. You know what I mean? Like you have top echelon rappers representing gangs. Yeah. Bloods and Crips. And so when you hear when you don't see them on the defense for it, it creates the argument for young people that this is the right way of life. You just got to be at the top.
But can I say, well, the people who created those gangster rappers are movies like Scarface, Godfather, all of these glorifying Italian mobster type movies. A lot of these guys are mimicking those guys.
Yeah, but what you gotta also like what Jeremiah said. There's a fine line. There's a line between fantasy and reality. And when. For someone like me who watched The Godfather, I was able to separate. I will never be like these guys.
See, I think another thing, real quick. I think like people always bring that up, like Al Pacino, this cat, this Scarface. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Al Pacino's still alive and well, and he's not trying to be Scarface.
Yeah, but the people that they were portraying were real. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So that's who they're mimicking. Yeah, not mimicking the actor. They're mimicking the real person that they're pretending to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, but when you start to blame hip hop says, what about movies? What about that? These people are not trying to be this once they say cut. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to be.
The hip hop artists are living this life and saying that this is who they really are.
Yeah. But you don't want to take a responsibility and saying, you know what? Yeah, I did. That's not my life no more. And I don't want no kid to follow what I'm doing. Like, this is just whatever it is. But it's too late by then because you've already about your 6th album already told you how to step on drugs, how to make drugs legal and everything.
Is MTV Cribs still on? Because I remember when I used to watch MTV Cribs, every rapper's house had a Scarface poster on the wall.
Yeah.
These movies had a big impact on these kids.
Yeah.
So I understand the blame shifting that rappers may do, but are they in part right? Like, these movies were very, very influential, and they kind of taught people gang culture.
Yeah. So how? Let me ask y'all this. So how is it that a rapper can be influenced by, like, for example, we could watch Menace to Society, but I could go home watch Menace to Society.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, I'm not saying, yo, if I just take Peachtree Street, I could be parking. Like, I get if I take it, if I get money, if I sold dope on Peachtree Street.
But you don't live on Peachtree Street. Like, it would be where you live.
No, but what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. That
because I'm from Miami area. There was this is my neighborhood. I'm gonna do what I need to do here. Like, I have cousins that I've been around with them while they were selling drugs in our neighborhood. It's not like you're gonna go to some other town and do. It's, you feel like in your neighborhood you run that neighborhood. Yeah. And people feel like they can do stuff in their neighborhood. There was happening.
Yeah, I know what selling of drugs is. I mean, I've growing up in the inner city. I've seen when the cat walking. So
you say take down Peachtree Street. They're not trying to take down Peachtree Street.
No, I'm talking about what I mean. Like, I'm talking about like if for some, wow, this is too much. For some cats, they do go outside of where they live to sell drugs.
But after they conquer.
But So, but what I'm saying is, it just wasn't an influence. And I think right now the kids, if you don't have a good foundation in your life, if you don't have somebody in your life to like pull you up, like, yo, what are you doing? This is not right. You shouldn't be trying to pursue this life. You know what I'm saying? The problem is right now we don't have kids like that.
The problem right now is that it's been going on so long that we are the ones saying it, and we sound annoying to them.
Yeah.
It don't sound like a good influence. It sounds like, dude, get off of me.
Or the rapper sounds like it's positive. Like, I used to sell drugs, so either I'm rapping or selling drugs. Which one?
But they also justify why they do it. Like Jeezy's lyrics, he always talked about the reasons why he has to sell drugs in order to make his family, successful and put food on the table. And it's like, I think a lot of the young people buy into that. Like, oh well, I got to do this in order to be successful. It's
honestly, and we probably could end after this. It's really like the microwave society. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I need money fast. I need quick, fast money.
We're missing. I think part of it though also is the aggressive nature of hip hop. That I'm better than you. Don't step in my neighborhood attitude happens in schools. Yeah. It happens in neighborhoods. It happens. People mimic that. I'm better than you. Don't step around if you do this to me, I'm going to do this to you attitude. They mimic that in their schools and in their neighborhoods. Then that creates the violence. Then that creates the organized violence. Then that creates it all stems from that, like, I'm hard attitude.
Yeah, but I think what Geraldo was saying, the root of it is hip hop.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
if you take hip hop away,
I'll say the number one thing I noticed as a kid that hip hop created was that fold your hands over your chest. Talk to me again that way. Yeah. Come around here again. Talk to that girl one more time attitude. Yeah, even if they weren't doing drugs, even if they weren't selling nothing, even if they weren't gangbanging, that attitude has caused a lot of problems. And it's not really in a lot of other things that I see. It's just it's almost a part of the music to be aggressive and to be antagonistic towards other people, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. That's great.
All right, man. Keep talking amongst yourselves. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Wright, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
This is that brand new